Good morning. It is Thursday when I'm filming this, and I just thought I'd bring you along for a little cozy day. There is some snow on the ground still, and today we're gonna do some baking. We have homeschool as usual, and I just thought I would bring you along with me. Anybody else out there wash their face after the coffee, or is that just me? Like, I'm like legit, like I need that cup to like do the other things and nothing, I don't do anything else until like I start getting those sips in. You know what I'm saying? Is that just me? I am trying to get better at washing my face every day because I've just not been very consistent with it. Should have been doing this stuff consistently like every day, like forever ago, but I have not, and so I'm trying to kind of get back on it. But by all means, I am not your girl for skincare routines. I could not be more of a worse example for you, but I'm just trying to create more of a routine, trying to put that sunscreen on my face every day because I know that is such a big thing. Feel free to ask me about a lot of other things. Skincare is not one of them. It's gonna be a dry shampoo kind of day, I'll tell you what, because I am not getting a shower yet. So I will say with homeschool, I do kind of like us to be dressed and ready to go. I am not a rigid schedule mom. That is no hate to moms that are. I am envious truly and wish that I could be, but I'm not. So I don't have like a set schedule time that we do homeschool every single day. I do like us to do it before noon. Does that happen every day? Absolutely not. But I do kind of aim for that just because I feel like my son later in the day has a harder time staying focused. So I do like us to do it in the morning. But with that being said, I do like us to dress and be ready for the day before we do it. I do just think it makes a difference in feeling like you're showing up and ready to take on the day, take on learning, all of that kind of stuff. Shout out to all the moms who are also doing laundry in a creepy basement. I don't have an aesthetically pleasing mudroom for this. It's very much a first world problem, but I think I'm quickly realizing that I want this video to be a de-influencing one. I watch so many different moms on YouTube and I love every single one of them and enjoy all of their content. But there are sometimes I get stuck in the comparison trap being like, wow, their house is really nice or really big or really aesthetically pleasing. And don't get me wrong, I love decor, I love design, I love all those things. But we also live in a rental home and there's things like this that are not gonna be the most aesthetically pleasing, but it's what we got. I'm thankful to have a roof over our heads. And maybe you're a mom out there just like me who sees all these aesthetically pleasing things. And I'm here to show you that I am not one of them. Just did a round of dishes and now we're gonna make some sandwich bread. I actually started baking a lot of our breads right after my daughter was born. Baking was one of those things that I've always said I was really terrible at, and I decided to just kind of give it a try and see what would happen. And I ended up actually really falling in love with it. And so I don't necessarily bake a ton of sweets. I do bake like cookies and things like that. But I mainly do different breads. So I do English muffins, sandwich bread, just like a rustic loaf bread. I've done baguettes. I use a lot of different recipes. The one that I've really loved is called Lion's Bread. I'll link that down below if you want to check her out. I think I tried about 4 or 5 different sandwich loaf recipes and they were fine, but I wasn't obsessed. And then when I finally tried hers, I was like, this is the one. I love this recipe. It's exactly turning out how I want it to. I have been making this recipe for probably about a year now. It's turned out great every single time. I've definitely made like little tweaks, not necessarily because she did anything wrong, just me continuing to learn how to bake well, specifically in the world of breads. So I'll share some of those little tips along the way. But yeah, let's make some sandwich bread. So our first step to make this sandwich bread recipe is we're going to take 2 cups of warm water into a bowl. We're going to add in 1.5 tablespoons of yeast, with a 1/2 cup of sugar. You can also use honey instead if you prefer to not use sugar. You're going to give that a quick little stir, and we're going to let this sit aside for about 5 minutes. Then you're going to grab a kitchen scale, a bowl, and we're going to measure out our flour. If you don't have a kitchen scale, you can easily use a measuring cup, but I find that it's easier to measure by weight, which will be 175 grams, versus measuring out 6 cups of flour. But like I said, you could do either one. Then you're going to add in 1 tablespoon of salt. Now grab your yeast mixture. You should see that it's a little bit foamy and bubbly on the top. Now we're going to use a stand mixer and attach our dough hook. We're going to pour in a 1/2 cup of butter that's been melted but has been cooled down. You're going to start mixing on a slower setting. Then you're going to slowly incorporate the flour and salt mixture into the bowl. You want to just slowly add about a cup at a time. You will start to see kind of a shaggy, rough dough ball start to form. If you touch it, it should have a slight sticky feel, but not be completely sticking all over your finger. Next, you can use a clean counter surface, or you can use a pastry mat like I like to use here. We're going to dump out our little dough ball on a lightly floured surface, and we're going to begin kneading the dough. You only need to knead for about a few minutes, just until you get a nice dough ball starting to form. Make sure to not overflour your work surface, as this is going to dry out your dough. Then we're going to spray a bowl with some oil, put our dough ball in there, and then we're going to cover it up to rest for about 1 hour or until about doubled in size. Okay, so that is it for right now. While I let the dough rise, I'm gonna clean up and wash a little bit. I'm gonna leave my pastry mat because I'm gonna come back to using this in a little bit. So I'm just gonna like wipe all the little bits off, but I'm just gonna leave the mat for now. You do wanna clean your bowl right away, because if you let that sit with raw dough, it will so quickly turn into concrete. So just always wash your bowl right away. I would love to have a dishwasher to throw it in, but we do not have a dishwasher. So I'm gonna wash these dishes up really quick. Okay, so as you can see here, when we pull this off, our dough has definitely risen. It is doubled in size, and it has been about exactly an hour long. What we're gonna do before anything is we're gonna take 2 loaf pans, and we're gonna spray them, because this is making 2 loaves of sandwich bread. You can also use butter if you don't have spray. Keep them close by. Now we're going to reflour that surface again, and we're going to put our dough ball on it. I use a dough scraper here to cut the dough about half. You can weigh it to make sure you have perfect measurements. I never do, just because it's another step. Then we're going to use our fingers, and we're going to flatten out each dough piece until it becomes about a rectangle shape. You can use your loaf pan like you see here to make sure that the length of it is the length of the pan. Next step is going to be rolling up the dough. So you do want to have a nice kind of tight roll here. When we make it too loose, your bread isn't going to stay put together. Once your dough is all rolled up, I just kind of pinch the seam just to kind of keep it all connected. And then we're going to place the dough in the pan with the seam side down. And then once you finish, you're going to take a kitchen towel and cover it. Mashed potatoes on the menu for lunch today. Certainly not a balanced plate. I think in the new year, I really do want to prioritize health and making better choices. I've been listening to a lot of content recently that talks a lot about that, specifically women's health, and why we need to like lift heavy to take care of our bones, because we're more likely to lose our bone density than men. And I also just want to be a mom that can show up and be a good example to her kids. And so I do really want to just get more healthy. I know that's not going to happen overnight, but this is kind of the year that I really want to show up for myself. I kind of want to follow the 80-20 rule, like with working out. 80% of the time I'm doing it, 20% of the time I'm not. With eating, 80% of the time I'm eating healthy, 20% of the time I'm not. I do really want to just find that balance and yeah, just be healthier and show up. Though yes, I did wash the laundry. I have 3 hampers that I haven't folded and put away. I gotta do that. I currently have been just trying to throw in a load of wash every single morning. Like I you saw in this video. I just want to like keep up with the rhythm of at least throwing a load in every day. Clearly it's not like it gets folded and put away every day, but even with this, if I'm at least getting it washed, then that part's done and it's just ready to be folded. Or also if I haven't put the stuff away, at least it's washed. So like if my son runs out of clean pants, I at least have a hamper that I can pull from. So I wish I could say I have a really nice, awesome system, but I don't. The kids right now are playing in the living room, having a grand old time. We are going to be getting ready to go to the store once our bread is done baking. I actually do need to check on that soon because it's probably almost ready to get thrown into the oven. Let me know in the comments below if you like this kind of content, the day in the life situation. I know for me, I consume a lot of these videos, but just because I like them doesn't mean you do. Or also feel free to comment below what videos you'd like to see in the future. I do really want to focus on kind of like mom content, homeschool, a little bit of baking. I don't want to just like turn into a baking channel because I like it, but I also kind of just make the same stuff every time. So I feel like that will only last for so long. So we'll see. But that's kind of like the content that I like to do is mom stuff, homeschool, that kind of stuff. Maybe I'll be doing like a bunch of different stuff in like a year. But regardless of that, I am so thankful that you are here and I'm thankful that you're watching. And yeah, it means a lot to me to see, you know, even if 10 people watch my video, that's awesome. It's just cool to see like some hard work be paid off and viewed and hopefully enjoyed. Don't forget to give me a little like button. When you guys hit that like button, it just makes me feel like, okay, like this is good content. This is what they want to watch and that's awesome and meaningful or whatever. And also make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can continue to stay up to date in this little hub of the internet. All right, so I think I'm just gonna keep folding this crazy pile for now. And then we're gonna go check on our dough, see if it's risen enough so we can throw it into the oven. Our bread is ready to go in the oven, and how you can tell is the rim of your pan, your dough needs to be above that. So you can see that here. I know on this side, it doesn't really look like it is much. It is a little bit, but that's what you're looking for. So you can see that one here, which got a little bit bigger, but you can still see on this one, the rim and then where the dough's at. So once you have that, you can throw it in the oven. We are gonna set a timer for 30 minutes. So this recipe does call that you flip the pans halfway through. You can do that. I'm gonna be honest, I don't. Like, they still turn out fine every time, but I never rotate them. So you do whatever you wanna do. Alright, so bread is pulled. I'm gonna let that sit in the pans for about 5 minutes and then I'll tilt them out and then just let them cool on the cooling rack until they're completely cooled. You don't want to slice it until they're completely cooled off. And if you followed all those steps, you just made yourself some sandwich bread. What's really cool about this is we're making bread without a list of a bunch of other preservatives in it. That being said, if you make fresh bread, it has a short shelf life. Say that 3 times fast. So you got to make sure that you're going to either use it up in the next couple days or you're going to want to put it in the freezer. So I think I am going to end the vlog here just because it is a little past 2 o'clock now. The day is flying by per usual. I do also believe this morning I said we were going to make cookies. We have not done that yet. That might be an evening activity. Who knows? We'll see. Thank you so much for joining along. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to join this little corner of the internet, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.